There aren't many games like this, and to broadcast one is truly an honor. Dan Wilkins Broadcasting presents the 52nd Annual Diamond Classic from Alcyon Park in Pittman. This year's edition features two Royal candidates from the Tri-County Royal. It's the Clearview Pioneers, the 6th seed, and the Gloucester Catholic Rams, the 1 seed. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by David Cohen. There's no better place to be here in South Jersey. 52nd Annual Diamond Classic. Two teams that are incredibly familiar with each other meet on a grand stage.
Yeah, these two teams already played twice this season, and they split. Clearview knows they can beat them. They beat Gloucester Catholic 2 years in a row so far, but this game is bigger stage. It's the Diamond Classic. It's basically the champion of South Jersey baseball. It doesn't matter. They're going to put their bodies on the line today. It's going to be a great matchup. The Tri-County Conference is on notice today with two teams, like you mentioned, from the same division. The Pioneers are a good team. They had two great upsets this past weekend against St. Augustine and Northern Burlington, and everybody knows about the powerhouse of the Gloucester Catholic Rams.
Well, nothing like that, but Clearview's never won a Diamond Classic title. Gloucester Catholic is tied for first. They have 7, most recently in 2023. But one thing that you can expect today, I don't expect this game to be very high scoring. Clearview and Gloucester Catholic both are 1 and 2 in fewest runs allowed this season in the Tri-County Conference. So with Eddie Pinero on the mound for Gloucester Catholic and then Braden Cook on the mound for Clearview, they're without their top 2 arms, but even with that said, neither team has allowed more than 80 runs this season across 24 games.
And mostly that's because of the defense from both teams. The defense for both teams is unbelievable. Both teams are so well coached under Dennis Barnes and Nick Corbin. Those are two great coaches here in South Jersey. This is going to be a great matchup on this Tuesday night, and we got great weather.
We absolutely do. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by David Cohen. Our producer will be Jim Hallman. Our sideline reporter will be Mackenzie Cochran. National Anthem's wrapping up. First pitch coming up in just a moment. Hey folks, we're currently experiencing a technical difficulty with our camera. Sawyer Wood led off the game with a base hit. I don't know what happened. We're going to try to fix it as quickly as possible, and I sincerely apologize. I really don't know what happened, but we are going to try to fix it very, very quickly. But we are going to stay in break for just a moment in the top of the first inning. Nobody on, runner on first. Well, welcome back. I sincerely apologize. We did not have any audio running. We had a lot of technical difficulties, but No better time to fix them than when it's early. The bases are loaded. Nobody is out for Gloucester Catholic. Sawyer Wood got a base hit. Luke Yeager did the same. Dom Abate walked. And the batter is Ben Doney, who, when Gloucester Catholic played Clearview at home earlier in the month of May, Doney hit a grand slam in what ended up being Clearview's second win over the Rams in as many years. Eddie Pinero is the pitcher for Gloucester Catholic. His stats coming into this game: 14 and 2/3 innings, 5 walks, 12 Ks, and a 1.43 ERA.
Yeah, like we mentioned in the open, both teams without their top two arms due to Saturday's games and the pitch count rules in the NJSIAA.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for the difficulties we had. Really just can't believe that happened. But we're back, we're rolling, and the 2-2 is fouled back off the rightmost post behind the plate, and it's still 2-2. We've got a lot of storylines to talk about today, and we've got all 7 innings to talk about them. Later on, we'll have John Galante, the director and supervisor of Tri-State Elite Umpiring, in to talk about the 4 umpires on the field today and the process of choosing said umpires for such a prestigious game. Pinero is ready. The 2-2, swing and a miss. He's out automatically, although he left the box, and it's going to bring up Ian Markison in the 5 slot.
Now batting for the Pioneers, number 27, Ian Markison.
The goal there for Clearview had to be a productive out, because now GC is just 1 ground ball away from getting out of this huge jam at the top of the first inning.
Again, what you missed: a single by Sawyer Wood, a single by Luke Yeager, and then a walk to Dom Abate to load the bases. And you just saw Ben Doney strike out. That one's away to Markison. Clearview and Gloucester Catholic both 20-4. The only difference is all 4 of Clearview's losses have been to Tri-County Royal opponents. They've lost to Gloucester Catholic once, Washington Township, Kingsway, and early in the season on April 1st versus GCIT. There's a swing and a miss. And right now riding an 8-game winning streak going into today. Markison, the junior, 17 for 46, 370 average. That one's away, 2-1. 15 RBI and 8 extra base hits. Two balls, 1 strike. Pinero ready. Kicks and delivers. Missed low. 3-1. But every single person that could possibly be here is here tonight, which is why we're honored to bring you this broadcast coverage of the Diamond finale. 3 balls, 1 strike from Pinero, and a ground ball. Could be 2. Backing up is Ladique. Throw to first. It's late. Just couldn't get there in time. Clearview's on the board. It's a fielder's choice off the bat of Ian Markison, and it's 1-0 Pioneers in the top of the first inning.
Now batting for the Pioneers, number 22, Connor O'Mara.
So here is O'Mara now, the 6th batter to come up. O'Mara, a senior, batting .271, 16 for 59, 14 RBIs, 9 walks. He's stolen 3 bases. He has only hit safely in 2 out of his last 5 games.
If GC got out of this jam, bases loaded, no outs with only
This
a 1
ball
run.
is lined to the 3rd. It's caught,
Ew.
and the side is retired. Sorry to cut you off, Dave, but
All good.
Clearview's going to take the field. Gloucester Catholic will take the at-bats when we return in the bottom of the 1st from Alcyon Park. Braden Cook is your starter for Clearview, a sub-3 ERA, 2.21, with 11 strikeouts, 6 walks, in 12 2/3 innings. As your batter is Noah Danza, one of many prolific Division I talents out of the Rams lineup. 1-1. Danza is tied for first in South Jersey in walks with 27 and committed to Mississippi State as this ball's popped up high in the air to short. Wood is there. One away. Here's your starting lineup for the Gloucester Catholic Rams, as coached by the legendary Dennis Barth. We saw Noah Danza. It'll be Jason Bogart on the other side of the infield at second base. Braden Lipoff, the commit to East Carolina, is behind the plate. Jude Morgan is the right fielder. Henry Pancoast in left. Chase Ledeek, the transfer from Collingswood, is at third base. And then Mikey Angelo follows him. Eddie Pinero is the pitcher and DH. And Braden Monahan, the youngster, is the first baseman, batting ninth, as that ball missed low. Jam shot to left field. And another catch by Wood. 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down. The batter is Braden Lipoff.
Now batting for the Rams, number 23, Braden Lipoff.
Lipoff is one guy in the state of New Jersey. He can flip a game quickly, man. Last year, that game against St. Augustine, the coaches versus Cancer, was unbelievable from the East Carolina commit.
I was just about to say, that's the game that popped in my head, a grand slam that he had in that game as a strike is called, 0-1. If you're just joining us, Clearview got a run on a fielder's choice. This ball's jammed foul. From Cook, another one lined foul the other way. For Clearview, in the top of the second, they will bat 7, 8, and 9. Cardiel, Munzenberger, and Batista. From a packed house here in Pittman, the 0-2 to Lipoff. Another one that's chased, but it's foul. Up onto the grass. I could tell you, though, I have never seen Alcyon Park this packed. But that's also because I've never been to a Diamond Classic final. I've always been busy. I've always been working. And, again, I hope for your forgiveness for the tech difficulties we had earlier. But to make 1 point short, I didn't know we were doing this game until about 11 a.m. this morning. I reached out to some people. I said, hey, the folks that did the Diamond Classic a few years ago and all up until last year, it's not on their YouTube page. And I reached out, and they said, it's all yours if you want it. So I had about 4 hours to prepare for this game. But that is what is expected of us. And we dropped the ball, so I apologize. It's 2-2. After Lipoff in the 3 spot, it'll be Jude Morgan, the right fielder, and one of GC's best pitchers across several years, not on the mound today. As the 2-2, Lipoff ropes the ball to right center field. This ball is off the glove, past an outstretched Batista to second base. Lipoff comes in standing. That's a double. Out to the right center gap, and Lipoff gives Gloucester Catholic their first base runner of the game.
Now batting for the Rams, number 3, Jude Morgan.
I thought maybe for a second that Batista would have a chance of getting there. And, I mean, he was on his horse about it, but even with the extended dive, although think about the other side of the coin, think about how much of a highlight reel that would have been if Batista did make the catch to take away one of the state's best hitters, take away extra bases. But the batter is Morgan. And in baseball, you can't lean on hypotheticals. Morgan pops it up on the first pitch, throws his bat down, and it hits the Clearview dugout over at first. And making the catch is Ben Doney, inning over. through 1. Clearview leads by 1 here at Alcyon Park. And with every inning in the diamond, anticipation grows even larger. We'll be right back after the break. Chase Cardio leads it off for Clearview as a blooper. Shallow left center. It's beyond the infield dirt, and backing up to make that play is Danza for out number 1, and the batter will be Munzenberger, the catcher. As we said, 7, 8, and 9 for Clearview in the top of the second.
Number 8, Alex Munzenberger.
But Clearview got a run on a fielder's choice in the first inning. I mean, just a really beautiful night. It's cooled off quite significantly since we got here. It was a high of 96 degrees today, and actually right now it's still 91. Unfortunately, we may have some rain coming our way in about 30 minutes. There's a cell coming from the west. Right now as we speak, it's crossing over about Westchester, Pennsylvania, and Wilmington, Delaware. And it may affect us. It looks like it's about moderate rain. So we'll keep an eye on it as this ball is jammed into right by Munzenberger. That'll drop for a base hit. We'll now go to the number 9 hitter, and Batista, the center fielder. So Pinero dealing with base running traffic.
Now batting for the Pioneers, number 10, Ryan Batista.
Gave up 2 hits in the first inning. That's his 3rd of the game after that jam shot floated the other way. Batista, the lefty, first pitch up and out. The thing about Braden Lipoff is that when those pitches are competitive, he's really going to be able to contend for those frames. But I think what he's also very capable of is his size allows him to really get up on the ball when somebody goes to steal a bag, which nobody's done yet. But if Clearview dares to steal on Braden Lipoff, we'll see how heavy the threat will be. As Batista works with 2-0 count. And this ball's hitting the right center field. That's going to drop. It gets in front of Morgan, and now an aggressive send to third. Here comes a play, and he's safe. He barely got in there. GC is irate. Mike Angelo at third thought that he got him. But it's a base hit to put runners on the corners out of the 8 and 9 slots. And the batter is
Now
Sawyer
batting
Wood.
For the Pioneers, number 3, Sawyer Wood.
This is what Clearview has to do. They have to hit to stay in this game because of the Rams' powerful offense, and they've done that so far here in the first 2 innings the Pioneers have. Now, it was a win for GC in the first inning, getting out of a bases-loaded jam with nobody out and only the 1 run. But Clearview, they got a strike here.
I was actually really surprised that they sent the runner from second to third. But A, I'm surprised that they sent him, and B, I thought that the throw was going to be a little bit further in front than that. The fact that it was a bang-bang play at all, I thought Morgan had a really good chance of striking him down at third. But the batter is Wood. He singled in his first at-bat. Wood to right field. It's shallow. Morgan catches it down the line. Runner thought about tagging, but he's going to hold up there, and I think wisely so. The courtesy runner is Andrew Prawn over at third for Munzenberger.
Now
And the batter is
for the
Yeager.
Pioneers, number 2, Luke Yeager.
What's been really good about this Gloucester Catholic pitching effort so far from Eddie Pinheiro is that he's focused a lot on jamming the ball inside, because a lot of the hits in this inning and in this game have been going the other way, and they haven't been hit all that hard. So Gloucester Catholic's pitching coach will go out to talk to Pinheiro here in a tough situation. I mean, in a regular season game, you can afford to let him ride a little bit longer, but here there's really no leash for you to have any slack on. If there's trouble, then there's going to be trouble.
The question is, who do these teams go into relief? Because pitching is light here with how big of the week both teams had last week with playing 2 games in one day. We've talked about that so much, how the quarterfinals and the semifinals, it's tough playing 2 in one day at the varsity level.
Absolutely, and only going to get tougher from there. Two balls, 2 strikes. No. Swing and a miss. I don't know what the scoreboard said. 1 and 2. The 1-2. Outside. Now it's 2 and 2.
Good pitch there, just a better take.
Pinheiro looking to get out of the jam. Swing and a miss. He got him. So Pinheiro got the talking to, and he got all the words of wisdom he needed to escape the inning. Clearview leads 2 runners on with 2 hits, and through an inning and a half here in Pittman, it's 1-0 Pioneers. Henry Pankos leads us off for Gloucester Catholic in the bottom of the second inning as the strike is called. Pankos skies a ball, right field line. Not going to have a play. It's 0-2. Umpires for today's game, it's Corbin Chance behind the plate, Dave Albertson at first base. Jerry Wilgus is your crew chief. He's at second base, and Don Crow is at third. I think this is the first high school game I've ever called to have all 4 umpires, a full crew, but really goes to show the testament of how Galante has put together this crew. Outside. So the 1-2. That ball is crushed left field, and it'll stay in the ballpark. Pankos flies out to deep left for out number 1.
Now batting for the Rams, number 9, Chase Laddick.
Chase Laddick is the batter. Strike called. Outside. One ball, one strike. Another swing and another tip that time, 1-2. So Pankos flew out to deep left, thought that ball had a chance to get out. And now you'll see Laddick, a transfer from Collingswood, manning third base this afternoon. One ball, two strikes, one away. Outside. Yeah, Collingswood had a big turnaround last year in the sense that they had Chase Laddick transfer out and they had Jairo Mendoza leave the program.
And an entire whole new coaching staff over there.
Yeah, Paul Woodley became the new head coach in place of Brad Klein, who was there from 2015 to 2025. Made the South Jersey Group 2 sectional final. This ball is tapped up the middle. There's a base hit in the center field. So Laddick gets on. That'll give Gloucester Catholic something to work with here in the bottom of the second. It's their second hit of the game at a double by Lipoff.
Now batting for the Rams, number 2, Mikey.
Now it'll be Angelo, who's in center field. Cook ready. This ball's grounded towards short. Wood with the outstretched glove. He kicks it out towards the third base line. 50-50 on if you want to call that a hit or an error.
It's a tough one.
I think I'd give that a hit because Wood really had to move his glove. He really had to move his glove, and he had to move a good, 6 or 7 steps up to his right. So
I also don't know if he fielded it cleanly if he would have had to play it first.
Yeah, that's exactly what makes the difference between whether you scored a hit or an error. But whether you put it as a hit or an error in your books back at home, we've got 2 runners on and 1 away. That one misses inside to the pitcher, Pinero. Pinero, a sophomore, batting .316 at the plate, 12 for 38 with 5 RBIs. Has hit safely in his last 6 games in a row. There's a strike called. Last time he went hitless was back on May the 5th. But Gloucester Catholic and Clearview both 20 wins, 4 losses. And really the difference that exists comes in the divisional standings as the 1-1 is outside, unable to frame it. Nick Core is fired up at Corbin Chance, the home plate umpire. I have a feeling both coaches are on edge tonight. And unfortunately, it's not going to get you anywhere by arguing balls and strikes. Might get you thrown out of the game. Here's the 2-1. Jammed foul by Pinero.
If you get thrown out of this game, depending on how many games left, you might be missing a playoff game.
Right. The counter to that is that I don't know what umpire in the world would have the guts to throw out a coach in the Diamond Classic. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of a coach getting thrown out in Game 7 of the World Series. You know, it's a lot different in a game of this magnitude and of this atmosphere than versus a regular season game on a random Thursday. Here's the 2-2, pardon, is fouled back. After him will be Braden Mohan, the first baseman in the 9 slot. So you're kind of running a Joe Madden lineup with the pitcher batting 8th. Back when he was managing the Cubs. 2 runners on, 1 away. And a base hit could tie this game up for Gloucester Catholic in the maroon and gold. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, above the letters. And a big pitch coming up here. Got to imagine this pitch and this at bat is going to have a lot of influence on this inning. So 2 base hits, 2 runners, and Pinero left field. It's hit pretty deep, but it'll be straight away. Taken in left by Marcuson, and that's out number 2. We'll go to the 9 batter and Mohan, the first baseman.
Now batting for the Rams, number 5, Braden Mohan.
That ball was struck pretty well by Pinero. It just didn't have too much on it. And just another update for the folks at home. We are going to get a piece of whatever rain is coming down here. You can see the dark cloud. There's a very thin line coming over from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and Wilmington, Delaware. But the line has enough depth on it to where it looks like it's going to hit us in about 20 minutes. So that is not good, but we will be hopefully prepared, and hopefully nothing of ours gets wet. But I would imagine they're going to play through it, although there may be lightning in the area, and that may delay this game. Not to fearmonger or anything, I'm just letting everybody know that is the situation at hand. It's an 0-2 count to Mohan. Clearview let up an extra base hit in the first, and they got out of it. What are they going to do with 2 hits? The 0-2 fouled straight back.
Off speed here. In the dirt, 0-2.
I'm surprised he threw him a fastball 0-2 in the first place. But Braden Cook, a pitcher who spent his freshman year at Gloucester Catholic before transferring out to go to Clearview against his former ball club. The 0-2. Line drive into left field. This one's got a chance to drop, and Marcuson lets it drop. Coming around third will be Ledeek. He will score, and we're tied up 1-1. So a base hit to straightaway left field by Braden Mohan out of the 9 slot. And Nick Core, who is also a graduate of Gloucester Catholic in 2009, is going to come out and talk to his pitcher.
2 0-2 fastballs that were over the plate, 2 hittable.
And they'll end up paying for it. I had a feeling we were going to get some rain of some kind because of how unseasonably hot it was. It was 94 yesterday, a high of 96 today. Real feel at high noon was 99 with the humidity. And then with the rain coming for maybe the next 6 days.
Now batting for the Rams, number 21, Noah Danza.
The thing is, you have to play this game today. If this game was played on Wednesday, you're probably not getting it in. And the day after that. But Noah Danza bats with 2 on, 2 out, tie game. This one is up and inside to Danza. Danza, senior, as we said, Mississippi State commit, 500 average, 34 for 68. He's hit 4 home runs this year, most recently in a 16-0 win versus GCIT on May the 15th. The 1-0. This ball's popped way up. Look out below. It'll go out of play, and it's 1-1.
Dan, you ever get a foul ball up here?
Let's not try it tonight. I don't trust my glove skills, but Noah Danza tied for first in South Jersey in total walks. He's tied 4 ways for first with a player from Hamilton, Pleasantville, and Medford Tech. The most notable player on this list is most likely J.J. McLaughlin of Bishop Eustace. But he has drawn a lot of free passes this year, which I know that NJ.com doesn't track it, but I wonder how many of those 27 were intentional walks.
That's a good point.
Two outs, 2 on. 2 balls, 1 strike. Away, 3-1.
Texas A&M chance going on, ball 4.
3-1. Danza, left field line. Foul ball. Just did not stay within the chalk. Full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Danza. And it's ball 4, so make that 28. And that will now bring up Bogart. So bases are loaded now as the batter is Bogart, the second baseman. He popped out to the shortstop Wood in his first at bat. Upstairs, 1-0 to Bogart.
For the Rams, number 4, Jason Bogart.
Bogart batting .427. By the way, for those that joined us a little bit late, I put in the comments that there were some folks not experiencing sound. If you're not experiencing sound, you can't hear me, but if you know somebody that is, tell them to restart their YouTube on whatever client they're using, whether that's computer, laptop, phone, TV. As that ball's hit in the left field by Bogart, it's hit pretty deep, but it's right into the glove of Marcus, and the inning is over. Clearview gets out of a bases-loaded jam, except for an
At the
RBI
end of
single
two, it's
off the bat of
Clearview
Braden
1,
Mohan out of the 9
Gloucester
slot.
Catholic.
We'll be back after the break, 1-1. Well, there's some of the best in the business down there. It's Kevin Minnick on the left. Chris Baker, I don't know. David, we were talking about it during the break.
Number 11,
I'm not sure what he's sitting on.
I'm going to have to ask.
That can't be comfortable, isn't it? But Brian Tortello over there with him as well. 1-1 ball game. Top of the third inning here at Alcyon Park in Pittman. I'm Dan Wilkins. My color commentator is David Cohen of Rowan University. Our co-producer is Jim Hallman, also formerly of Rowan University. And we've got a sideline reporter coming up in the next half inning in Mackenzie Cochran of Montclair State University. But the Stars are out tonight as Abate takes a strike called 1-1. Abate was originally committed to Camden County College, flipped his commitment to Rowan College of South Jersey. And they certainly have made their headlines in the last couple of days for a win they had over Brookdale Community College, in which we were there for as Abate ground ball. High chopper. What a stop by Bogart. Throw is high. Can't get his foot down on the bag. And he is out at first. Bang, bang play.
Now batting for the
Out number
Pioneers,
one, and it'll be Ben
21,
Doney.
Ben Doney.
So Abate now 0 for 1 after the ground out, and the batter will be Doney. Doney is 0 for 1, struck out with the bases loaded. He's going to pop this on the first pitch. Right field side. Who's got it?
Whoa.
Sliding. He made the catch. Jason Bogart made the catch. All the way from second base. Oh, my goodness. It's a 5-star play right there.
I'm speechless. Wow.
Now
Back-to-back
batting
good
for the
plays for
Pioneers,
Bogart.
number 27,
Taking after his brother
Ian
Joey, who
Markison.
just clinched the trip to the Super Regionals for the Rowan Profs this past weekend.
And now it'll be Ian Markison, the left fielder. He lines this one on the first pitch. Hit him often, hit him early. It's a base hit for Markison. And it's a 2-out base hit back up the middle.
Now batting for
So
the
here's
Pioneers,
Connor
number
O'Mara
22,
now.
Connor O'Mara.
So O'Mara lined out to third base to end the threat in the first. O'Mara batting .271, 16 for 59, 14 RBIs. No extra base hits, but 9 walks. He's low and away. 1-0. But the parking lot is full. No room at the inn, folks. It is a jam-packed house. And David, what you were telling me, it was even larger last year.
Yes, it was packed last year when it was Mainland and Haddonfield.
There's a ground ball out to short, cut off by Danza on the run. It's in time, and the inning is over. So some really strong plays, including a catch by Jason Bogart, flailed out towards the line. We go to the bottom of the third, still tied at 1. We're here with our sideline reporter, Mackenzie Cochran of Montclair State University. Mackenzie, it's been a packed house tonight. How would you describe the atmosphere here tonight? You got me, Mackenzie?
Everything here is absolutely electric. Gloucester Catholic players are climbing up fences. We have Clearview players who are climbing on fences and absolutely cheering. Everyone here with a huge crowd is a really exciting day for the championship.
Mackenzie, thank you. So, bottom of the third inning. The batter is Lipoff. It's 3, 4, and 5. This one will be jammed up on the 0-1, out towards first base, running out of room. And it's 0-2. So 3, 4, and 5. So what part of what Mackenzie was talking about, there were Gloucester Catholic players that were quite literally climbing the fence of their own dugout until the home plate umpire, Corbin Chanson, had stepped in and said, hey, you can't do that. I mean, that is quite dangerous for what it's worth. Lipoff, Morgan, and Pancoast.
We were up here setting up before the game, and we heard the Gloucester Catholic bus come in, and I go.
You could hear them from like 500 feet away.
I knew exactly who it was because the state final a couple years back when I forget who they took on, St. Thomas Aquinas maybe, they were screaming out the windows. They were ready to go.
That one misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lipoff, committed to East Carolina.
People might not like that, how Gloucester Catholic carries himself, but when you're that good, do whatever you want.
Exactly. The Phantom I.O. that they do where they take infield, outfield, but they don't throw any balls around or don't actually hit any balls. People don't like that. But when you've won as many state championships as you have, why do you care what other people think? You can just kind of go, if you have a bad season, then sure, you might have to fall in line, but as long as you keep winning, you don't really have to care. Lipoff grounds it. Fair ball, left field line. Lipoff taking a wide turnaround first. He'll pump the brakes. It's a leadoff single for Braden Lipoff. And the batter will now be Jude Morgan, the right fielder. And now Nick Core is coming out.
Number 3, Jude Morgan.
So quick visit here, and they're going to take the ball away from Braden Cook. Gets a nice hand from Clearview, at least from the right side of the field, as the new pitcher for the Pioneers, it looks like it'll be number 30, Andrew Borner. He'll come in with nobody out in the bottom of the third, and one on when we return. I mean, just look at this. Right field and even down the line. I mean, there are so many people here. So many of you watching at home as well. There's even kids, I don't know how they got up there, but they're on top of the dugout of the Little League field. Everybody is here. And Andrew Borner is the new pitcher as Braden Cook is out after 2 innings. Didn't strike out anybody. He gave up. Grand total of 5 hits. He walked 1.
Now batting for
allowed
the Rams,
1 run.
number 3, Jude Morgan.
As Morgan is the batter. Borner, 18 innings for the Southpaw this year, 2.72 ERA, 9 walks, 14 Ks, and he's allowed 22 hits. As he has appeared in 9 games this year, appeared for Clearview and threw 11 pitches in Thursday's game versus Triton. Bunt up the first base line. It's going to drop in fair territory, but he's going to let it roll foul. Smart play over at first by Ben Doney to let that one go. I think with how late the runner for Lipoff, or Lipoff himself, pardon, was going, I think with how late he jumped when that ball hit the ground, he probably could have had a chance at a double play. Just tag first and then get the tag out at second base. But I think an equally positive scenario is letting that ball drop in the first place. The 0-1. Curveball jammed foul. For just joining us, no balls, 2 strikes, 1-1 tie game. Clearview got a run in the top of the first inning on a fielder's choice. Gloucester Catholic tied the game with an RBI single by Braden Mohan in the bottom of the second. Here's the 0-2. Another one fouled back. Got to hope everybody's honest and brings those foul balls back. And
Please return all foul balls.
baseballs are expensive these days. No need to waste them. No balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. With Morgan, one of the best pitchers for Gloucester Catholic, playing right field this evening here in Pittman at Halcyon Park. Curveball inside. Oh, almost took out Dennis Barth over at third base. Had to shuffle there to get out of the way, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes from Borner to Morgan. With Lipoff on first and a motion back to first, not in time. It'll be Pancoast, the commit to Sacred Heart, in the on-deck circle for Gloucester Catholic. The 0-2 from the stretch, up and out. Later this week for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we'll have non-conference baseball the rest of the week. Thursday, Morristown versus Northern Burlington. That's a 3:45 first pitch. And then Saturday morning, Allentown, the Redbirds visit Bishop Eustace in a CVC versus Olympic bout. It's the 0-2 to Morgan. And the long at bat will end with a ground ball, but Wood kicks it. That's the second miscue he's made, and it puts a runner on first and second. And the lights brighter than expected on that play as Wood allows the runner to reach. And the batter will now be Pancoast. I think that one for sure. The first one, wasn't sure how I wanted to score that. Second one, I think that's an error on Wood.
100%, yeah. Can't make those mistakes against Gloucester Catholic, and especially here in the Diamond Classic final.
Because you know they're going to take advantage of it. Henry Pancoast, 295 average, 18 for 61, 3 home runs this year, and 18 RBI. That one's up and out. He flew out to deep left field. He got some pretty good barrel on the bat. I was going to say he got good wood on the bat, but that wouldn't apply here. It only applies in the summer. It's 1-0. But a very, very good crowd on hand. It just continues to file in more and more. Some folks that I recognize from Pittman are here, and from all corners of South Jersey, they meet at what you could call the Mecca of South Jersey baseball. As the 1-0 tries to go for a bunt, but he wavers at that one, which was really far outside of the zone. I would have liked to see him pull back on that instead of committing to it. But it has significantly cooled down here. Wind is blowing in towards center field. But Pancoast, legs wide in the box. He'll show bunt. Another strike call. Because he offered at it, and it's 1-2. I just felt a raindrop come in, which is not a good sign. Yeah, there's people scrambling. We've got some rain coming, I believe, and the wind is picking up. We may have to move the camera inside if it becomes bad enough.
Also, more action in that Clearview pen down the right field line.
Looks like a right-hander warming up. We'll get an eye on him in a second as there's a big swing and a miss. Pancoast took a huge swing but came up empty. And that's out number 1.
24, it looks like.
In that case,
now batting for the Rams, number 9,
that would
Chase Ledeek.
That would be Andrew Prawn warming up. But the wind really picking up, and oh man, yeah, we could have some storms coming. Like we said, we've been monitoring a line that's coming from Westchester and Wilmington, and it's blowing straight into the press box. Strike called, 0-1. Try to keep control as best as we can, but we also don't want any equipment getting wet unless somebody makes a $800 donation for a new camera. But I'm joking. I'm being real. We have to protect our equipment, and you can actually see the rain is coming down through the outfield, and it's going to hit us soon. How about that? You can just kind of see it coming through. So if we cannot complete today's game, this is from John Cates of the South Jersey Baseball Coaches Association, it would be a suspended game from the point. Is it from the point or from the start of the inning? From when you stop, so Major League Baseball rules. In normal high school, it would be from the start of the inning, but in this case, it's from the moment the game would stop. And who knows when it would be next, but that is a good thing that those controlling this event are aware of the threat of storms. This ball's hitting the left field. This ball's pretty deep, but it's caught in left field. Yeah, you could just kind of see everything shifting. The lighting is shifting. Feel like we could have some big things coming. And this field, while
Now batting for the Rams, number 2, Mikey Angelo.
Pittman Public Works do an excellent job of maintaining this field. However, there's only so much that it can take before it will become an issue. So 2 outs. And Angelo, the center fielder, is the batter, the sophomore. He's 1 for 1, singled back up the middle in the second inning. Did not come around to score. And this ball's cracked into left center field. This could get down, and it does not. It hangs up. Played in left by Marcuson. And at the end of the third inning, we're tied up still 1-1 at Alcyon Park. Welcome back here in the top of the fourth inning. I'm Dan Wilkins, and our special guest for the half inning, John Galante, the president of Tri-State Elite Umpiring Association, supplying the umpires for today's game. And we did mention the umpires earlier, but they're Corbin Chance behind the plate, Dave Albertson at first, Jerry Wilgus is your crew chief at second base, and Don Crow is your third base umpire. First of all, John, to have your association of umpires working this event, that's got to be a big honor. That's got to be a big accomplishment for you and your brand. Obviously, this isn't your first rodeo, but every year this event gets bigger and bigger and more prestigious.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like the Diamond Classic, and certainly the Diamond Classic Finals, it means a lot to a lot of people, and so for us to have 4 umpires out here tonight, just really a big thing for our organization, and I'm happy to be here to support the tournament and support our umpires that were selected.
Now, one thing that a lot of people don't usually get to see is, as you being the head assigner of these umpires, what went is Cardiel flies this one in the right field. This one's down the line. Morgan goes over, and he'll make the catch, out number 1. He'll bring up Munzenberger, the catcher. But can you describe what went into the process of choosing the 4 umpires for this prestigious game?
For the Pioneers, number 8, Alex Munzenberger.
Yeah, it's certainly. So when it's a game like this, of this caliber and this kind of notoriety in the area, it's a difficult process because we're juggling a lot of different things. First of all, availability, just logistically, who's available. 2, who knows the 4 umpire system. That.
Here comes the bunt up the third base line, backhanded, and Danza couldn't make couldn't make the play. It would have been a tough play nonetheless, but it puts Munzenberger on. And the batter will be Batista. But Go ahead.
Yeah, there's not a ton of umpires that have a ton of experience working the
Now
four-umpire
batting for the
system.
Pioneers, number 10, Ryan Batista.
So we want to take a look at who has experience here, who's worked games of this notoriety with this many fans and things like that. And we're happy to have four umpires on the game today that have college experience, some minor league experience on the game. So that all helps, with as much pressure as there is in an atmosphere like this.
So the experience obviously means a lot, but let's say you've got 12 umpires available for this game. Obviously, I'm just throwing out numbers, but is there a process of elimination to where you say, okay, well, this minor league experience supersedes this college experience? Maybe a little bit into how these specific four umpires were in this game.
Yeah, certainly. So, we have a ranking system internally. We take coach feedback into consideration as well. That's not lost on us either. So we'd love to put our best four umpires on the game, and that's what we're trying to do. We want the best four umpires that are available, that are equipped to work the game, not only with their experience but their skill level. And I think we did that tonight.
Batista, left center field. This one's up, and it's going to drop. Cut off by the left fielder, now having to pedal back to the bag. It's a base hit. Munzenberger gets to second. And Batista puts two runners on here in the top of the fourth. And the batter will be Wood. But, John, I think
number 3, Sawyer Wood.
I think a very important thing about the umpiring, you talked about it, the coach feedback. The umpires that go out to these games, you have so many different games, so many different schools. How valuable is that, the coach feedback, being able to listen to them and say, well, I thought, outside of obvious balls and strikes, but the actual fundamentals of the game and the intricacies and how they conducted themselves, how valuable is that for you to evaluate?
Yeah, it's tremendously helpful because it's not possible to see everything that happens on the fields each day. So, we tell the coaches at the beginning of the season, we want to hear from you. I know there's probably some old school things out there where they don't want to hear from the coaches and they don't care. But we want to know, and we'll kind of take what we get, and if there's enough feedback on somebody in the same direction, there's probably, they say where there's smoke, there's fire, good and bad. So we want that information, and it supplements what we know about that umpire already.
One umpire that came to mind from a few weeks ago, we had a gentleman, Nolan Leidy, who was the base umpire for a game between GCIT and Kingsway. He's only 21 years old. He was a 2023 grad of Triton, and you yourself are a young gentleman as well. So what does that process look like, being able to get umpires that are younger, fresh out of either high school or college, to get the experience and eventually work high school games? As we've got a double play. Ladique caught that liner at third, and he fired it right back to second for the out. We'll stay here with John through the half-inning break. Actually, no, we are not, because we do have some music playing. So, John, please stay with us. We'll be here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Eddie Pinero leads us off, bottom of the fourth inning. A strong double play into the inning. It's 8-9-1. We still have John Galante with us, but the question that I'll backtrack a little bit. We were talking about young umpires. We talked about Nolan Leidy, 21 years old, getting valuable high school experience, not just Nolan, but all of the young high school umpires and college umpires that you have. How did you crack the code into getting that new generation of umpires on the field?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much a code. It was just a willingness to kind of deal with the inevitable, criticism you might have of an umpire who looks young when they walk on the field.
Right.
Even if they are proficient in what they're doing. So we wanted to fight back against that. And we're not, our goal is not to just put young umpires on the field to put them on the field. I think coaches want to see some more athleticism out there if we can get it. And if they're as good or better than maybe older or less athletic umpires, we would want to put them out there. And so we talk about it being a meritocracy all the time. High school baseball is, umpiring should be as well. So we want to put the best umpires on the best games and serve the game.
That's absolutely a good point, and I'll close with one more question for you. We asked it during the Region 19 tournament. Here's a bunt back to the mound. It goes past the pitcher. Barnard is not going to have a play. That'll be a bunt base hit for Eddie Pinero, and the batter will be Braden Moyhan. But the question I'll part with you is, how long have you've been running tri-state umpiring now for?
Now batting for the Reds.
Almost 10 years, right?
12 years.
12 years, okay.
Braden
So you've been here for 12 years. Obviously, you want to gather even more experience, even more valuable schools. Obviously, there's the Philadelphia Catholic League, and there's countless high schools in South Jersey. But what is something that you have in mind that is a goal of yours, something that you want to continue working at, something you want to continue to improve on with TSC?
Yeah, my goal is, and our goal is less specific into acquire this school, acquire this conference. We want to continue to actually positively influence more umpires. That's what this is about. Let's get umpires better. Let's allow umpires to reach their umpiring goals. And often, Corbin Chance is on the plate tonight. We don't get to have him as much as we want because he's working college baseball. But that's what is in the best interest of the umpire. So we spend a lot of time trying to improve umpires, help them get to their umpiring goals, and that's really what we're after.
Well, showing bunt is Mohan. He misses outside. It's going to be a 2-0 count. But, John, I sincerely appreciate you taking your time with us. Obviously, we respect the growth of umpiring in South Jersey and the ability to bring in these great talents all throughout the state and through high school and college ball. And we wish you the best of luck in the future and the growth of your brand.
My pleasure. I appreciate you having me as always. Thanks, Dan.
That was John Galante, the president of the Tri-State Elite Umpiring Association. It's been great working with him. As Borner threw over to first, it's not in time. Mohan had the RBI single in the second inning, but tied at 1 in the bottom of the fourth. This game feels like it's breezed by, but
he jinxed it now.
Well, you know me, David. I don't believe in jinxes. If there's a no-hitter, I'll start calling it in the fifth inning. I've actually gotten kind of nasty emails about. There was one time we were calling a game. I can't remember what it was, but it was some low-stakes high school baseball game, and there was a kid having a no-hitter through 5 innings, got broken up in the 7th, and I wasn't even incensed about it, but I actually got an angry email about it saying, oh, if you hadn't jinxed it, my grandson would have had the no-hitter, and I just didn't even respond to it. But we're here to be the accompaniment to the entertainment on the field, as Mohan missed on the bunt. I'm a little bit surprised at how much and how often Gloucester Catholic has been bunting in this game. I've seen them a few times this year, but that's not something that we have seen too often out of them. But I feel like in a game where it's going to be low scoring, every run, every batter is imperative to winning this game.
It feels like this game is trending in the direction for the next team to score. They're going to win. And I think Gloucester Catholic's idea right now or focus is to try to push this second run across and pitch with a lead.
Let's take a look at the Tri-County Royal standings as of today. Gloucester Catholic and Clearview both at 20-4, but Clearview, all 4 of their losses have been in divisional play. The Kingsway is 18-5. GCIT, who just won the Tech School Championship over Bergen Tech, they are 14-10. Williamstown 12-9, and Washington Township 10-11. Mohan showing bunt again. This one is popped way up. Play it first. It's going to drop out of play. Still 2-2. But as soon as I was talking about a long at bat and a quick game, we now have a gruelingly long at bat here. It'll be Danza in the on-deck circle for Gloucester Catholic. 1-1 game. The only run that the Rams have scored have been out of the bottom of the order with the 9-hitter Mohan. With that RBI single in the second inning. The 2-2 popped up back behind us.
Please return all foul balls. Thank you.
Just a disclaimer, I know we have had several technical difficulties today. I do apologize for that. But full disclosure, we are not paid for this broadcast, and that applies for many of our broadcasts. So we ask if at all possible, if you would like, we do have a Venmo if you'd like to make a contribution to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens, and of course, it is never required. DWB is always free to watch, but we have obviously a very dedicated crew, and I try to compensate them for when they work these games because they take so many hours out of their day. They work so hard. Like I said, we've got Jim Hallman, Rowan University, David Cohen of Rowan University as well, Montclair State grad. Mackenzie Cochran was with us today. So got a 2-2 count. I just like showing how hard of workers our crew is and our crew members are. As the 2-2 from Borner is popped up back behind the plate. This could be playable for Munzenberger. It will not. It will slam the roof of the dugout. And how about our friend from Jersey Sports Zone didn't move an inch. Saw where the ball was going, thought he would move out of the way. It's a real cameraman right there. He just didn't move.
No, workman's comp will cover it.
Well, maybe not the camera, but hard to have a glove in your hand when you got a camera in both hands. Here's 2 balls, 2 strikes. A long at bat of 7 pitches now for Braden Mohan, the sophomore, the first baseman, and the only holder of an RBI for Gloucester Catholic. That one's away, 3-2. And again, with Andrew Prawn warming up in the bullpen for Clearview, it's only going to make this a more complicated situation for the Pioneers. Three balls, 2 strikes. Near the 8 o'clock hour. They're at Alcyon Park in Pittman, New Jersey. 52nd Annual Diamond Classic between Clearview and Gloucester Catholic. Runner goes. Fouled back. Pitch number 9. They're going to run out of baseballs quick. By the way, an update on that rain we were expecting. We were on path for a cell that was moving east from Wilmington, Delaware, but as of now, it seems like it's either going to clip us or it may fizzle out by the time it gets to Gloucester County. It's going to pass over eventually, whether it's overnight or now, but the 3-2 popped up. Pitch number 10 out towards first. The at-bat stays alive again. They're going to use up so many baseballs in this game. Coach is going to have to make a trip to Dick's Sporting Goods mid-game, buy a bucket of baseballs. But this is going to be the 11th pitch of the at-bat against Braden Mohan in the 9 slot. Borner, who came in for Braden Cook after 2 innings. Again, there's no leash to be had. There's no margin for error. If you're not doing well, bullpen's going to come in right away. Runner goes again, and that's ball 4.
Great at bat.
11 pitches, and Mohan, for the second time today, gets on base, this time via free pass. We go to the top of the order now for Danza.
It's a good visit here.
Exactly. Got to clear his head a little bit because you don't know if Prawn is ready. And obviously the pitching coach is coming out, so this is not the end of the road. But what I can tell you is it's probably a good sign that they're just talking to him. And, again, they're trying to nip this while it's early. They're trying to nip this before Noah Danza, if he hits a 3-run home run, well, then you're going to have to bring in Prawn to the game. But for now, you are trying to solve this problem before it starts. But on a day that was 96 degrees at its hottest, has cooled down a little bit here at Alcyon Park. First pitch to the Mississippi State commit, Danza. Nope, step off. Again, our next broadcast will be Thursday, non-conference baseball between Northern Burlington and Morristown. We were supposed to have Northern Burlington's game today. They were playing Cherokee, but then I got a call at around 11 a.m. They said, did you want to do the Diamond Classic final? Couldn't turn the opportunity down, even though we've had some difficulties today. The first pitch. He's going to drag a bunt up to first base, and it's bobbled. No play. Everybody's safe. Danza runs through the bag, and that ball went under the glove, and then before it could be picked up,
now
everybody's safe.
Number 4, Jason Bogart.
And Doney was the one who was unable to make the play. It'll be a bunt single for Danza. Just couldn't have placed it any better. And the bases are loaded. Prawn is walking in from the bullpen. So he'll be ready in case he's needed. Low. 1 ball, no strikes. If you're just joining us, tied up at 1. Clearview got a run in the top of the first inning, and Gloucester Catholic got a run on an RBI single in the bottom of the second. Bases loaded, infield at the edge of the dirt for the Pioneers. Bogart pops it up, got under it to shallow left field. No, it's going to go too short. Sawyer Wood makes the catch, and the home plate umpire signaled for the infield fly rule. So that is out number 1.
Now batting for the Rams, catcher number 23, Braden Lipoff.
Now that's one thing that's always complicated is those infield fly rules, because you as an umpire, I mean, David, you're an umpire as well, so you kind of have to call this sometimes, but the criteria for it is so specific. In that case, everything was checked off. Bases loaded, you have to have 2 runners on, or at least 2, I should say, and there has to be either 0 or 1 out. But what I'll tell you is the hardest part of calling an infield fly rule is judging whether or not the ball is going to trail into the outfield or whether it's going to stay in the infield, and that's what makes it so difficult. Lipoff calls time. But just such a great atmosphere tonight. I wish we had more games like this every year. I mean, listen, I can't have 20 Diamond Classics in a season, but ground ball through the middle for Lipoff. There's a base hit in the center field. Pinero scores. Around third, charging is Mohan. He's safe. 2-run single from East Carolina's Braden Lipoff, and the Rams break the tie 3-1.
Now batting for the Rams, for right fielder number 3, Jude Morgan.
Just a good piece of hitting. That's
all you needed to do with the infield in, pulled up the middle. I said earlier, Lipoff can change a game in a matter of seconds, and he just gave the Rams a 3-1 lead.
Well, Prawn will come in. We'll take a break. Braden Lipoff, 2-run single to give the Rams a 3-1 lead. Andrew Prawn is the new pitcher in for Clearview. Take a look at this 2-run single off the bat of Braden Lipoff. Laced it back up the middle. Two on, one away, and 2 runs home. Prawn has only pitched 26 pitches all season. And he didn't pitch in 2025. So I'm not sure, considering he didn't bat either in 2025, I would have to imagine there was some kind of injury that sidelined him long term. But he made his first appearance of the season yesterday versus Triton in a 10-3 win. Walked 2 and struck out 2 across 2/3 of an inning. Here comes the throw to third. It's late. Didn't get in there. It's a stolen base. And a double steal for Gloucester Catholic puts them in prime position with Morgan at the plate. It moves Danza to second and Mohan to third. An aggressive send, but anything of this nature is going to be an aggressive send at this point in the game. Morgan 0 for 2. Pop out and reached on an error. So we did confirm Prawn got Tommy John surgery as this ball's hit, jammed to center field. Moving in, Batista makes the catch, and he's going to hold up. Look at that. One hopper. Couldn't have placed it better. And Batista saves a run by throwing that ball from deep center field.
Now coming up to bat for the Rams.
Now it'll be
Left fielder number
Pancoast.
44, Henry Pancoast.
Three to 1 Gloucester Catholic, bottom of the 4th inning, here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Pancoast 0 for 2.
Leave me alone. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Be good.
Pancoast 0 for 2. Fly out and a strikeout as that one's low and away, 1-0. Here's with Pancoast, and then it's Ladique. Two outs, 2 runs home. Lipoff at a 2-run single back up the middle. Prawn to Pancoast. Strike called outside corner. In the top of the 5th for Clearview, it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Yeager, Abate, and Doney. And the runners are on 2nd and 3rd after a double steal. 1-1. Pancoast takes that one high. That one looked like that was going to be good in the zone, but ended up sailing too far up. Two balls, 1 strike. Prawn delivers. That one's high, 3-1. Prawn really missing high in the zone here. I'd like him to bring his fastball down just for the sake of, he's not doing bad for what it's worth, but I feel like he's trying to exert too much on those fastballs and it's causing him to miss up on the release point. And if he does walk the batter, you've got Chase Ladique with the bases loaded. That's the 3-1. That one is ball 4. So Pancoast does walk.
Now batting for the Rams. Third baseman,
And at the top step of the dugout is Nick Core, but he's opting not to take it. Opting not to talk to him right now, letting this play out. Again, Core himself a graduate of Gloucester Catholic back in 2008. Was a solid hitter for them, played baseball at Fairleigh Dickinson University. But he's a relatively young head coach. His first head coaching season was 2014. And he's another one of those guys where his region does not stop him from coaching. He was 2-year head coach at Lower Cape May 2015 and 16, Penns Grove in 2017, and then St. Joe's Hamilton in 2021 and 2022. He took over for Anthony Reagan in Clearview in 2024. So this is his 3rd year. And for Dennis Barth, as a strike is called, he's got to be in, year 40 at this point? I mean, one of the winningest head coaches in South Jersey. Obviously, the winningest of all time in South Jersey is Sam Tropiano. But I don't really think anybody's debating that in terms of all-time greatness. The 0-2 outside. I mean, obviously, Gloucester Catholic has always been a good team. I remember in 2023, they lost 10 games, and people called it a down year. They lost in the semifinals to the Ranny School, and that was a 21-10 season was considered a down year for this Rams team. Prawn resetting. 8th batter of the inning for Gloucester Catholic. Fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs home, and the base is loaded for Chase Ladique. Here in the Diamond Classic final from Alcyon Park. The 1-2. Outside.
Ooh.
I think that's the right call.
It missed out. Close.
It was close.
Up and out.
And, of course, we don't have as good of a view as Corbin Chance back behind the plate. But so many amazing things have happened at this field. With Luke Lesch's walk-off home run in last summer's Carter Cup as the 2-2. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Bases loaded, hit by pitch. And the Rams had a run. That one got him in the elbow. Either the elbow or the hand. It trailed
now
inside nonetheless.
For the Rams, center fielder number 2, Mikey Angelo.
And the batter will be Mike Angelo. And it's now 4-1, Gloucester Catholic. Not saying that changes everything, but it changes a lot. Because in a game where you're not poised to have a lot of scoring, I don't think that anybody went into this game expecting it to be like 9-8. Both teams have allowed, going into the game, fewer than 80 runs as a team. They're first and second in the Tri-County in that category. So here is with the bases loaded, Angelo, the sophomore center fielder. With mostly overcast skies now from Alcyon Park. Strike called outside corner. Right side of your screen, there's your leaders. I guess they're not leaders if it's the fewest of something, but it's the least runs allowed. Clearview 75, Gloucester Catholic 77, Delsea is 78. Kingsway, Williamstown, Cumberland, and Woodstown close out that list. Those are the 7 teams to have allowed less than 100 runs in their Tri-County Conference season. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Angelo well behind on it. I think that's one of those swings where he regretted it mid-swing. He ended up paying for it as it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes under the lights from Alcyon Park with possibly some weather in the distance, but got to play some baseball for now with Pinero on deck. Angelo chased that one foul, swinging anything close with 2 strikes, and he did just that as he keeps the count alive. Two, 3, and 4 for Clearview in the top of the 5th inning as they trail 4-1 in the 52nd Annual Diamond Classic. 3 runs across for the Rams in this inning. The 0-2. Outside. I just got to wonder how much longer Clearview is going to hang on like this because they're diminished in their pitching. They played yesterday versus Triton, which, I mean no offense to Clearview, but I wouldn't play that game if I'm Clearview.
It's a senior day game.
Well, you're the number 1 seed in South Jersey Group 3. You can have your senior day in the first round of the playoffs.
True.
And if you don't beat the 16 seed, then that's your problem, you know? The 1-2. And albeit that is very rare, but happened to Rancocas Valley a few years ago, so it's not completely out of the question. My point is, though, is that, you know, the seniors aren't going to leave on one day, you know? It's I wouldn't have played that game because I would have at least allowed my guys to get one more day of rest to give them a better chance or at least a better outlook of pitching in the most prestigious game that South Jersey has to offer. I mean, there's really not a lot of tournaments outside of this one, mostly because everybody's time and dedication is dedicated to the Diamond, for good reason. That's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. We have the Camden County tournament, but that is more or less unofficial. 6 teams competed in that this year. I mean, if it was official, you could imagine Bishop Eustace, Cherry Hill West, and even Gloucester Catholic, because even though it's Gloucester, they are in Gloucester City, which is in Camden County, if you're not aware, which I'm sure many of you are. Angelo pops this one up back behind the plate. Look out. Oh, my goodness, look at that. It's like 10 rows of people deep, all into the rotunda. People love baseball in South Jersey. And I think one of the reasons for that, and David and I have discussed this on our podcast before, is the fact that you have so much talent to come out of this area. Mike Trout being a big name, Chase Petty right now in the big leagues for Cincinnati, and so many Division I players it's worth paying attention to. As Angelo on the ground, Wood stops it on a dive, throw to second, and the ball gets away. It goes into right field. 1 run scores, a second behind him. That's a third throwing error on Sawyer Wood, as it's a incredibly costly one, as it's now 6-1 Gloucester Catholic.
Now batting for the Rams, pitcher.
Inning of nightmares so
Number
far for
30,
Clearview,
Eddie
something
Figueroa.
that couldn't happen if they wanted to win this game, and Gloucester Catholic taking advantage of what they're being given.
Pancoast and Lipoff both scored a 2-run play. No RBIs, of course, but an error on the shortstop Wood. That's his second error, but he's also had a miscue that was scored a base hit, at least in our book. But it's now a 5-run lead, 6-1. Now the runner goes late, but he's going to get in there anyway because Munzenberger held down the plate. He wanted to make sure there was no first and third steal, so you just let him go. So Pinero, who led off the inning with a base hit, now is in a big spot here. He jams this one foul. Now 0-2.
Right after him here.
Got nothing to lose, right? Down by 5 runs. Got to attack him somehow. Six to 1 Gloucester Catholic. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here at Alcyon Park, the picturesque Alcyon Park in Pittman, New Jersey, is another step off.
Diamond Classic's going to have a pitch clock next year.
Well, they used to, remember?
Did they?
There used to be all the pace rules that they used to have back just a few years ago. One's up and in. If I'm correct, the last year the year that they stopped using it was 2025. It was I think it was 90 seconds between innings, and you know the goal of it was to speed up the pace of play. But I'm pretty sure 2025 was the last year that they stopped using it. 23, okay. So then that was my first diamond that they stopped using it, was 2023, the first one that I had. Pinero pops this one way up. This one might get lost. Back behind the plate. It's coming down. Oh. That almost got a piece of several people. Bring a glove, kids. Bring a glove. Still 1-2. Clearview in the yellow tops, Gloucester Catholic in the white. 5 runs across in this inning, and as you said, David, you put it right on the head. An inning of nightmares. As that one misses 2-2. We said when they return, it's Yeager, Abate, and the cleanup man in Doney, who hit a grand slam versus Gloucester Catholic when these two met in the regular season just a few weeks ago.
That's Clearview's best chance. They got to score in this next inning.
Another one fouled back.
Gloucester Catholic all game, they've just battled at the plate with 2 strikes, long at bats, especially in this 4th inning, but they are making Clearview's pitching staff work.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, with 2 on. And Pinero, did not go. That certainly is a groaner for some. And if he walks, that's going to send up the 11th batter of the inning in Braden Mohan, and that would be the bases loaded if he walks. Time called. And David, we can talk about this at greater length when we get another podcast episode or when we get another chance, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Diamond Classic timing rules come back. I think that would be a good return to form, as it's ball 4, missed inside. So Pinero misses, and Corbin Chance trading some words back and forth with Nick Core in the Clearview dugout.
Now batting for the Rams, first baseman, number 5, Braden Mohan.
So Braden Mohan is the batter. With the bases loaded, 2 outs, and 5 runs already across for Gloucester Catholic in this game. And from what our field mic is picking up, he's got some vocal supporters as well. Strike called, 0-1. And if you're just joining us, 5-run inning for Gloucester Catholic. Clearview's only run came in the top of the 1st inning on a fielder's choice. It was an RBI single in the bottom of the 2nd by Braden Mohan, and the 3rd inning was scoreless for both sides, but this inning has just simply ran away from Clearview, and they have another right-hander warming up in the bullpen. Ground ball, foul, and it's 0-2.
Had 0-2 on Pinero. You got to go right after him. Got to get this final out. Bottom of the lineup.
And you said it right, David. I mean, you had him on the ropes. Can't afford to let that one go. And Clearview's offense will have to make up for it.
A change eye level here. Fastball up, and maybe drop the all-speed in.
The 0-2 to Mohan. Outside, 1-2. But if I'm Clearview, I might think of the Rowan College Roadrunners, who just last week on Saturday was down 17-1 in the NJSIAA Region 19 Championship and won the game 25-18. Maybe the wildest baseball game we've ever covered. But it's fouled back, and it's 1-2. Although, honestly, after calling a 25-18 game, I am kind of relieved to get a sense of normalcy back. Because, I mean, that game was wild for its own reasons, but that's also partially a byproduct of what junior college baseball is. The 1-2. Ground ball through the middle into center field, a base hit. The rally continues. 2-run single, Braden Mohan. The Rams have blown it open, and it's 8-1. And unfortunately for the Pioneers, these two teams have already met once. This appearance is looking more like their first meeting than their second. And they're going to pull them from the game. So, new arm in will be number 6. Let's see, number 6 on the roster. Okay, that is Steve Ferfari on the mound for Clearview. He is the third pitcher of the inning. Borner started, Prawn continued, and he was unable to get out of the inning as Gloucester Catholic. There's a reason why they're number one. We'll be right back after the break. Steve Farfari, the new pitcher for Clearview.
Number 21, Noah Danza.
Farfari, only 2 innings for him, 4 strikeouts. And an inning of 7 runs, a crooked number, brings up Noah Danza. Home run would make it a 10-run game. Low. I just feel like Clearview is falling apart. I mean, they were doing so well in the first 3 innings. I mean, even after Mohan's single, they allowed a walk to Danza after that, and then a fly out to right by Bogart, pardon the left field, ended the inning. As Danza fouls it back, and it's 1-1. I just feel like right now at this point in time, Gloucester Catholic is pouncing now. They've got all the gas in the tank. They've got these hefty advantages. As the Rams lead by 7 runs. But like I said, given Saturday's events, I'm not counting out anything. Ground ball into center field, a base hit for Danza. Green light from Dennis Barth. Here comes Pinero. The throw is high. 9-1 Gloucester Catholic, as they will look for their 8th tournament title and their first since 2023. The road to get there is getting easier in every at-bat, as they've made it an 8-run game,
number 4,
9-1.
Bogart.
But folks walking around, some folks in different jerseys coming here. They got done their game, changed into some better weather clothing, and then made their way to the ballpark. 0-1 to Bogart. Strike call to the outside corner. This is now the 13th batter of the inning for Gloucester Catholic. They have poured it on in a game where earlier it looked like we were going to get poured on. The 0-1. Bunt down the third base line. Perfectly placed and no play. He didn't throw it to first. The bases are loaded and the batter is Braden Lipoff.
Now batting for the Rams,
can't believe
pitcher,
this.
number 23, Braden Lipoff.
This is not the guy you want up right now. This is...
And there have been 7 hits in this inning. But listen, sometimes you have pivotal games that don't end all that close. I think of Game 6 of the 2001 World Series. Diamondbacks beat the Yankees 15-2. Set up a Game 7. And that game-winning hit by Luis Gonzalez. Sometimes you don't have the cleanest of games when they matter the most. Not every game can have a 10 out of 10 entertainment factor. As this one is chopped right in front of the plate. They won't have a play at home. They got to go to first. That throw is wide. It gets down the line. This is going to be a 10-run lead for Gloucester Catholic. It'll bring 2 runners in. It's a 10-run inning. Or a 9-run inning for now, excuse me. but no, I'm sorry. No, it is a 10-run inning because they had one going into it.
Now
A ball thrown away. It's a throwing
3,
error.
Jude Morgan.
And same NJSIAA rules apply. So there might be an early bus ride if Clearview can't figure this out. 11-1 in the 4th inning. And that's just the nature of baseball. Sometimes you have games that are closer and other games that aren't. Popped up, back behind the plate. This one's going to go out of play. It's 0-1 to Morgan. So 11-1 Gloucester Catholic.
If I'm looking at this from Clearview's side, if you don't come back in this game, the last 2 schools, public schools that won the Diamond Classic, Mainland and Cherry Hill West, they were bounced early in the state playoffs. So is there a Diamond Classic curse? Maybe there is. Maybe you use too much energy to win this unofficial South Jersey championship. And
there you can see some rain coming down. So that looks like it's the beginning of it.
what's the official game after 4?
So with Morgan, the 0-2, can Clearview finally escape the jam with a 10-run inning? Not yet. Runner goes. Now the throw's going to get away. This is unbelievable. 12-1 Gloucester Catholic. I mean, what are they doing? Why are you... I don't understand that. It's an 11-run lead, and there's a reason why Gloucester Catholic is winning by as much as they are right now, because there is a sloppy performance on the defensive side. I just don't understand that.
Checked out.
I think when you're losing by this much, it's hard to get back into it. And that's not being harsh. That's just the truth. Make that 13-1. We're going to have to look up the last time there was a 10-run rule in the Diamond Classic.
Now batting for the Rams, left fielder number 44, Henry Pancos.
Last time Catholic was good.
But to get to this final, Gloucester Catholic is the 1 seed. They beat Sterling by 4 runs in the first round. They 10-run Vineland in the second round, 13-3. And then they edged out Kingsway right here at Alcyon Park, 6-4. And they beat Bishop Eustace, blew the game open on them, 8-0. I mean, honestly, if you beat Bishop Eustace, oh, man, a wild pitch. Runner gets down to second. I mean, this is...
It's like mission impossible to get a third out.
This is abysmal. But for Clearview to get here, they were the 6th seed. They beat GCIT 4-3 in the first round. They beat Shalleck by 10 runs in round 2. And in the semifinals and quarterfinals, they beat St. Augustine 11-4 and Northern Burlington 15-7. But what changed is the question that Nick Core and many will be asking after this game is over. And a lot of people are heading out. I think they kind of see the writing on the wall. It's a 12-run game. The rain is coming down. I think some people are, just like the players, a little checked out of this game. And a swing and a miss by Pancos. It's 1-2. This inning has gone on for a total of 40 minutes. Two-1 is the count. Apologies, but that was a big swing by Pancos. The 2-1. Up and in. By the way, though, even with the score, we did set a record tonight. This is the most concurrent views that we've had on a Dan Wilkins Broadcasting baseball broadcast, topped out at 495. So we appreciate all of you joining us tonight from wherever you may be. This ball's flied into right field. Could this be the end of the inning? Going back, and he's going to make the catch. The side is retired. But the damage has been done, and that's an understatement. 12 runs. They nearly batted around twice. And when we go to the 5th inning, Gloucester Catholic, they just need to prevent 3 runs, and there'll be some Diamond Classic champions being crowned on an early rate. We'll be right back.
Number 2, Luke Yeager.
Luke Yeager, the designated hitter, bats 2, 3, and 4 for Clearview as they trail 13-1 in the finale of the Diamond Classic here from Pittman, New Jersey. This one's up. There's steady rain falling here at Alcyon. You could see it underneath the towers of lights, and it's Yeager, Abate, and Doney. And I even heard from the Clearview dugout, they're just kind of beside themselves. I mean, I think a lot of them are in disbelief that this has happened. Again, Gloucester Catholic beat Clearview 16-1 earlier in the regular season. This ball skied up the third base line. This one's going to run out of room. It's out of play. It's 1-1, but Yeager is 1 for 2 at a base hit in the first inning. And again, our next broadcast, weather permitting, will have non-conference baseball on Thursday between Morristown and Northern Burlington. That's a 3:45 first pitch. And then on Saturday, Allentown and Bishop Eustis at 10 a.m. I'll be on the call with Damon Dukes of that one from UMBC. That one's up 2-1. I mean, the rain is steady, but it's not incredibly hard. So if Clearview were to stage a comeback, it certainly would be enough, at least for now, to play through. There's a strike called. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the 2-man Yeager at the plate. That one's poked into right center. That'll drop for a base hit. Gets down between right and center. It's picked up by Morgan. And Clearview's got a base runner here in the 5th.
Now batting for the Pioneers, second baseman, number 11, Dom Abate.
So Abate, the commit to Rowan College of South Jersey, flipped his commitment from Camden County College. Two balls, 2 strikes. And, I'm sorry, no. First pitch. I keep looking at the scoreboard. It's 1-0. I'm a little bit out of it tonight. I apologize. Had a lot of technical difficulties at the beginning, which obviously I really regret, but only so much we can do as that ball is thrown up. First base. – That one's outside. I was planning to do this, by the way. During the Diamond Classic broadcast, we were going to reveal where our first round playoff game will be in terms of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting coverage. And while it's not set in stone, as a 2-0 is a swing and a foul back to the plate, and it's 2-1, our first round playoff game, which will be on May the 26th, on Wednesday, 27th, will be between Morristown and Cumberland in South Jersey Group 3. So right now that's not set in stone, but that's what we're going to go for, Morristown, Cumberland in Group 3. Second round, of course, TBD. Fly ball, left center field. This is going to be tough. But going over to make the play is Pankos. That's the first out. But Clearview going into this game had not won a Diamond Classic title.
Now batting for the Pioneers,
could
number 18,
at long
Pat
last
Jurgen.
break the tie with Bishop Eustace. Bishop Eustace won it all in 2021. Gloucester Catholic last won in 2023. Ball outside. And there are your stats right there. Gloucester Catholic and Bishop Eustace tied at 7. Cherokee has 3, St. Augustine has 3, and 8 teams are tied with 2 each. As a fly ball, right field, 2 down. For Clearview, this game would have been monumental to their history. And for Gloucester Catholic, it's another day at the office.
Now batting for the Pioneers, left fielder number 27, Ian Marcusson.
A win for Clearview would have meant their first in team history, but a win for Gloucester Catholic, especially one of this dominance, just means another ring on their hands. As that one's low to Marcusson. A single and 2 flyouts in the inning. A win for Gloucester Catholic will bring them to 21-4. A loss for Clearview will bring them to 20-5. Ground ball foul. It's 1-1. But even if Gloucester Catholic won by 1 run or by 12, the celebration would be the same. Maybe it'll be a bit subdued for a 5-inning win, but we've got a 1-1 and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. A decent amount of the crowd has left, but those who have stayed in it have enjoyed a game that, if you're a fan of the maroon and gold, has been one to remember. Eddie Pinero, 1 strike away from title number 8. The 1-2. Line drive into right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. We're not done yet. This is going to roll all the way to the wall. Green light from third base. The throw is late to come in. Marcusson will hold. It's an RBI double, and Clearview is not out of it yet, down to their last strike. 13-2. And the batter will now be O'Mara.
Now batting for the Pioneers, right fielder number 22, Connor O'Mara.
The run to keep this game going is at the plate.
And O'Mara is 0 for 2, lined out to third base in the first, grounded out to short in the third. Strike called. You know, there's been some years where it's been debated who's the number 1 team in South Jersey. And I don't think anybody who knows what they're talking about would disagree that Gloucester Catholic is the number 1 team in South Jersey from opening day to this point. The only teams to have threatened them were St. Augustine, who they beat twice, and Northern Burlington, who they have not played yet. Certainly would have liked to see them play, but what are you going to do? The 1-1. This ball's flied into center field. Getting under it is Angelo, and the Gloucester Catholic Rams, for the 8th time in team history, are Diamond Classic champions.
Congratulations, Gloucester Catholic Rams winning the 52nd annual Diamond Classic.
Mobbed at first base. 13-2. One of the shortest Diamond Classics you'll ever see. With an 11-run rout of the Clearview Pioneers, the Rams have won their 8th title, and their first since 2023, which, if you think about it, wasn't all that long ago.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to Pittman, New Jersey, Halcyon Field, a beautiful location of the Diamond Classic Championship. Safe travels home.
So Clearview will meet at home plate. Your player of the game and Diamond Classic MVP, I don't know if they would award the same, but Eddie Pinheiro, 5 innings, only 2 strikeouts, but he really found a way to shut down Clearview. I mean, yes, the offense did the work, but I think that Pinheiro being on the mound, despite Gloucester Catholic being 2 arms down, was incredibly important. If I wanted to give it to an offensive player of the game, I think it would go to Braden Lipoff for 3 hits and 4 RBIs in this 13-2 rout of Clearview. But with how good Pinheiro pitched and with how good Lipoff hit, Lipoff set the tone, right? He had that 2-run single that made it a 3-1 game, and he really got the dugout fired up. He really found a way to make this a viable inning and one that Gloucester Catholic would not relinquish.
Yeah, I said multiple times throughout the game that Lipoff can turn the game at any given moment. And Clearview pitched him pretty well for the most part, but he can hit balls out of the zone as well. And that's what he did tonight. And Gloucester Catholic routed Clearview for the second time this season. This was a 1-1 game not too long ago, and it ended up being 13-2. Clearview, like I said, that was a nightmare inning. They made multiple mistakes. They seemed checked out after Gloucester Catholic took a 3-1 lead, and the Rams took advantage of what Clearview gave them, and that's why they're probably the #1 team in South Jersey and going to try to win another state title under Dennis Barth. They're a well-coached team, all their assistants, and especially the head man and Dennis Barth. That's why Gloucester Catholic is so good, and that's why they're circled on everybody's calendar. Clearview got them once this season, but when it mattered the most, they couldn't get it done, and Gloucester Catholic are the 2026 Joe Hartman Diamond Classic champs.
And at the end of the day, if you think about it, Clearview is still the #1 seed in South Jersey Group 3. They could very well win a sectional title. This is another bump in the road, and that's why this South Jersey championship is all but unofficial. Obviously, it's great to crown a champion. You know, people that have won and teams that have won Diamond Classics, they will put that on their field. They will put that at the banner behind home plate. You'll raise a banner for a Diamond Classic, even though it's all but unofficial. But it means so much to this community. The hard work put in, and there's Gloucester Catholic cheering, trophy hoisted high. For the 8th time, they are Diamond Classic winners, with the tournament trophy handed by John Cates and Mark Petrignani to the ball club. It's their first win since 2023 in this tournament, and it would have been Clearview's first, but they were denied in a handy fashion. 13-2, the final score in 5 innings. David, did you have a pick for player of the game other than Braden Lipoff?
No. Well, I mean, like, Pinheiro pitched pretty well, but I think Lipoff got this team going, as you mentioned, and I think he would be my Diamond Classic MVP if I had a vote.
I think he would as well, and Gloucester Catholic, again, their 21st win of the season. There's a lot to like about this team. There's so much to enjoy watching these guys play, and they're going to compete for a divisional title on Thursday. They're kind of rehearsing some trophy shots, but what I'll tell you is they're going to give the MVP out. I think they're chanting Eddie Pinheiro. They got to get a couple extra shots of them jumping up and down for all the photographers out there. But what I'll tell you is that this was a good game until it wasn't. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This was not a very entertaining game. It was just, listen, it really shows the dominance that Gloucester Catholic has. And I think that with them being this dominant, there's really no doubt they're the top team in South Jersey. And it's a good thing that they don't have to compete in the same bracket as Clearview. You know, I think about over in Pennsylvania, public schools and private schools play in the same bracket. Imagine if you're Cherry Hill West and you've got to play Gloucester Catholic in the first round of your playoff series. That's just not fair. So NJ's got it right, and the great part of this tournament is that they are able to produce events like these and nights like these with the prestige of Halcyon Park, the fanfare of Gloucester County, and the dominance of two great baseball programs. Because still, that loss for Clearview is only their 5th loss of the year.
Exactly.
That was not how Clearview usually plays the game. That was just an off night for them.
Yeah, that was an off night. You said it best. That's still a very well-coached team. They have a lot of talent on the team like we saw throughout this tournament. Don't forget, Saturday they beat St. Augustine and they beat Northern Burlington in the same day. Clearview, take this loss, come back tomorrow, and still realize that you have something a little bit bigger to play for. You're still in the running for a state title. You are the #1 seed in South Jersey Group 3. Like I said earlier on the broadcast, the last 2 Diamond Classic champions, they were bounced early in the state playoffs. Clearview, take this loss, come back, and compete for a state title.
That's what you got to hope if you're Nick Core, but you got to imagine with the thrill of victory, there is the agony of defeat, and it's those gentlemen and those coaches standing in right center field of Alcyon Park. But the final of the 52nd Annual Diamond Classic is Gloucester Catholic 13 and Clearview 2. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator Haley Mejia, our graphics crew Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Giannotti, my producer James Hallman, and my color commentator David Cohen, and our sideline reporter Mackenzie Cochran, even though we weren't able to get her too well on air. She does a fantastic job. I'm Dan Wilkins. We apologize for everything that happened tonight, but what we got at the end of the day was an 11-run win for Gloucester Catholic in the Diamond Classic. It's 13-2. We'll be back in Northern Burlington on Thursday. Have a good one, folks.